We're not in the path of totality right here. It's just a little bit south of us. So this may be it, which is not the same as experience for those. Hey everyone, it is the day of the eclipse. And I am here in northwest Arkansas, not in the totality zone, but the eclipse has begun. Just overhead, I have my eclipse glasses ready. But I thought I'm gonna get out and get a view from out on the trail. Gonna go for a hike while the eclipse is happening, just because I can. So you can come along with me here. I'm out on the Twin Knobs Trail in northwest Arkansas, and I'm gonna head up towards the Twin Knobs, then I'm gonna come back, and then depending on how much time passes, I'm gonna head the other way, down this way to the south. I've never been down this way. I've been up to the Twin Knobs before, but I'm gonna head up this way first and make that loop, and then come on back. I'll take you with me. Let's go. All right, so just getting started on this hike here. I have a friend who suggested backpacking as a way to improve training for half marathons and such. And so I went on a hike last week, about 5 miles. I can't remember, maybe just under 5. The backpack on, a few supplies with me, nothing too big. With the idea of just exploring some of the local trails around, expanding my range, my distance, and just in general, enjoying more of the great outdoors. All right, so just about 4/10 of a mile, not even half a mile yet, and I'm coming on the first of the knobs that gives this place its name. I don't know if this was managed this way or if it was something that broke out. I don't know, but it looks like there's been some burning that has gone on in this place since the last time I was here. And anyway, coming up to the first of these knobs is actually standing right up behind me here. And I'm not really gonna go up on top of it. I'm just gonna go around it today. All right, so I'm just about a mile in, and I happen to find a tick crawling up my leg, actually. I suppose that's one thing I have to look out for out here in Arkansas, but one of the things that I was noticing is that I didn't even put on any bug spray when I left the house. I didn't even think about it. Maybe I should have, but I didn't. Anyway, and there's a light breeze that has part to do with it, but I have had very little problem with mosquitoes or other bugs like that. So I just finished mile in. It's been about 24 minutes. I'm not cruising. I'm stopping to take in some views. Anyway, at the moment, the bugs have not been an issue. No mosquitoes, no gnats. I suppose I shouldn't say none because I did have something around my ear, but for the most part, a non-factor. As I said, it does appear that there's been some burning go through, and I don't know if it was a controlled burn. In some places it looks like it was controlled because most of the trees haven't gotten any. This one obviously was affected here. A lot of the undergrowth has been burned away from since the last time I was out here, which I suppose can be a good thing, because then that prevents a worse forest fire in the future. But it definitely looks much different out here than the last time I hiked this trail. One of my favorite things to see at the moment is that the dogwoods are in bloom. I got one right here, right up here behind me. You can kind of see it. Maybe some back here behind me. You can see down here, dogwoods in bloom. Just checked on the eclipse. We are just about halfway into, it's about halfway eclipsed. The sun looks like a nice crescent up above, and still, I just saw it looks like a bluebird, I think. It looked a little gray, but it looked like it was maybe a female bluebird. One of my goals as I've been out here starting to hike on the trails is to learn a bit more about the plants that are out here, so that I can learn more about what might be edible, what might be medicinal. And I've had, the last time I hiked, the very first plant that I looked at and identified turned out to be something that is poisonous, except that it produces a fruit that when it is ripe, it is edible. And I've been on the lookout for some today. If I find some, I will show it to you. Hey, can somebody tell me what this is? I've seen a couple of these. I don't know exactly what it is, and intend to find out at some point. But maybe you know. Let me know what you think. Now, there's a little trail off of the trail right here. I don't know where that goes. I don't know that it's an official trail. But maybe at some point I'll have to explore where that goes. Here's where I came from. Back over there, and I'm headed this way. That way. But I'll have to explore that other trail back behind me at some point. See where that goes. I'm 2 miles in, and obviously getting close to totality. Closer, at least. I don't know that you can see it on the video the way that I see it in person, but the light has just grown steadily dimmer. And I remember this. I was actually in the totality zone for the eclipse back in 2017. Very similar experience. Light steadily growing dimmer, and the forest growing steadily quieter, as it seems as though the eclipse kind of tricks wildlife into thinking that the sun is setting. Nighttime is falling early today. So it's kind of this eerie sense of something's happening, even if everybody doesn't understand what it is. All right, I just checked on the eclipse a moment ago, and based on the shape of the crescent and the location of the moon, I feel as though this is as eclipsed as we're gonna get. There was still a little bit of sliver of sun on the upper side, which I guess shouldn't surprise me because we're not in the path of totality right here. It's just a little bit south of us. So this may be it, which is not the same as experience for those who are in totality. Oh, I just got scared by a vulture. Where is he? There he is, right there. The vulture right there. He just squawked at me. I scared him. He scared me. Whew. So this may be as dark as it gets here. It might be a little bit cooler, but there hasn't been the significant temperature drop like there was for the last solar eclipse that I experienced. So maybe because I'm hiking, I don't notice it, but it is definitely dimmer. The animals think something odd is happening. I'm sure that vulture was probably tucking in for a nighttime nap. But I'm just gonna keep hiking because this may be as dim as it's gonna get. I was reading an article earlier about different perspectives on solar eclipses. A lot of them religious perspectives, cultural perspectives. And of course, in the middle of this article, it mentioned that there is an eclipse associated with the crucifixion of Jesus, a solar eclipse. And of course, the story says that the sun was blackened for a period of time. But for the record, there was not a solar eclipse on that day. There could not have been a solar eclipse on that day. Maybe you're aware, maybe you're not. Today, we have a solar eclipse that is occurring because the moon is passing between the earth and the sun, blocking out its light. The moon is a new moon. You will not see the moon in the sky tonight because the side of the moon that is lit up is the side that is facing away from Earth tonight. Well, the day that Jesus was crucified was Passover, and according to the calendar for Passover, it fell in the middle of the month. In the middle of the month was a full moon, which would have meant that the sun was illuminating the side of the moon that was facing the earth, meaning it could not have been behind the moon. So the darkness that covered the earth on the day of the crucifixion was not caused by a solar eclipse. So I'm up on top of the northern knoll up here, knob, I guess is what they call it. Up on top of the northern knob, and this is obviously a popular place to watch the eclipse. Popular, I mean, there are a couple families up here watching the eclipse, but you can see the view from up here on top of the knob up here. I guess there's a little bit of altitude behind me here, but the best view here is right on this ridge anyway. Just a beautiful location. So it's a little over 2.5 miles up and around the knob, the northern knob, and heading back down now. It'll be a little shorter on the way back because I've already crossed some of that distance. So I'm on my way back and saw this set of sticks here. That wasn't here before, right? Was it? I mean, here's this trail that I said I would explore later. Here's where I came from. And here's where, well, there's where I went and came back from. But then I saw this set of sticks. I thought it might have fallen. And I thought about removing it, and I actually did remove it. And then I put it back because I thought maybe somebody put that there to help mark their way back to wherever they're going. I don't know. What do you think? Did somebody do that? And if you see a set of sticks like this in the path, do you leave it or do you throw it off to the side? I don't know. Well, I decided to leave it, I guess, just because I thought maybe off chance somebody put that there. Maybe they don't want to get lost, and I don't want to be the one that, breaks up their plan. But it's an interesting strategy. I thought, like, if I had put that mark there, somebody else could remove that mark on the trail. Or, you know, when they come by again, do they remove it? Is there some kind of unspoken hiker rules where you leave sticks in the trail because somebody else might have put them there? Is there something I'm not aware of? Some hiking etiquette? I finally found some after doing the entire Twin Knobs Trail. I made it back to my car, 5 miles in, and then headed across the other way, and I finally found that plant that I was looking for. I did not see any on the other side. Guys, see if you know what this is. Right here. See this plant right here? Got a little white flower right there. That is what is called mayapple. And I identified it using an app on my phone based on the leaves. I did a little bit of research. And a mayapple, every bit of the plant is toxic, poisonous. Don't eat it. I don't even touch it. I don't know. I haven't actually looked into that. But I don't want to get anything on my hands that could be, you know, transferred to my mouth or whatever. But the little flower that's on it tells me that there's going to be fruit on that particular plant. And when that fruit, it starts off small and green, then it grows maybe, I don't know, the size of a small plum. And when it ripens, which is kind of a pale yellow color, then it is edible and evidently very sweet. And I hope to find out later in the season when those flowers turn into fruits.